Right. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you right now can't get sleep, I mean can't get sleep as in aka you're not tired, as in you've been up late in AMs in the early hours of the morning is the way that I want to say that. Like my 3, 4, 5 a.m. and you still awake, but you're not necessarily tired. You still kind of feel a little bit robust and energized. It's normal right now. I don't know what the Schumann's doing, but I'm telling you, based on the way the energy feels, the Schumann's off the freaking charts, and it's probably got some weird ass fucking pattern to it that only makes sense to some big geometry, like sacred geometry nut who's like, oh my god, this means this. Like, it's okay. If you're not tired and you're not feeling the effects of exhaustion, tiredness, the need for rest, don't make it a bigger deal than it is. Your body's coping with it okay. Your body's not tired. Just let it go. The other thing, a lot of people want to know what to do to heal, or they want to talk about their healing journey, and they use labels to do it. Be careful. Because the number one person that asks for help is also the person that is very self-aware. They're very aware. Don't mind my hair. The frizz today with the humidity is wild. But they're also very self-aware of what's wrong. I'm an avoidant attachment. I have mother-father wounds. I am this. My inner teen is angry. My younger child self wants a hug. I was ignored. But all these labels for like a self-diagnosis, be careful with doing that. Because those are also the number one people who don't do anything with it. It's really great to have an awareness sometimes. But if you choose to do nothing with your awareness, then we're using it as an excuse. I'm sorry I acted that way because I'm a anxious avoidant. Like what? Like, it's not cute to know what you are. And I mean, as far as like a label goes, to diagnose yourself, it's not cute. That type of a system of things with labels is a breadcrumb, so to speak, into your next couple steps. But if you never take the next couple steps, you're doing yourself a disservice. And you're almost using the label to identify yourself with whatever the label is, but you're stopping at the rational thought and you're not going actually into the healing. So be careful with like labeling too much, so much so that it stops your forward progress and it stops your growth. Number one question we get asked when we sit down with somebody is, well, where do I start? Shadow figure to the left. Where do I start? And we always everyone is always expecting this big emotional release in the beginning. Sometimes it's not like that. It can be for others, but sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it doesn't always start that way. The best place you can start is honesty. Be honest with yourself. Before you buy a journal, before you mentor with somebody, before you meet a coach, before you go to therapy, be honest with yourself. Don't rationalize. Be honest with yourself. The shit that's not okay. The shit that bothers you. The shit that you're afraid to admit. Admit it to you. Because if you can't admit it to yourself, you're not going to be able to admit it to anybody else. It's you first. Take back control of your healing journey by not being afraid to admit shit to yourself. Even if it's in your head. Even if it's late at night. Even if it's in the bathroom when you have 3 seconds away from the kids or the family or the boyfriend. It's okay. Honesty with yourself is always first. 4:14 on the clock. Honesty with yourself is always first. Because you have to bring that type of conscious awareness to things. So if something bothers you, allow it to bother you. And own that shit. This bothers me. Everyone wants the shortcut to healing. There's no shortcut to healing. But if you want a good starting point, say the quiet part out loud. Be honest with yourself, no matter what it looks like. And don't judge what it looks like. If your honesty is harsh and savage and brutal, that's fine. But own it. If your honesty is sad and vulnerable, and that's fine. Own it. because everybody has both of them inside of themselves. You have a harsh, savage energy. You have a no fucks given energy, but you also have a vulnerable energy. You also have a soft teddy bear energy to you. Everybody has that energy. It's just which one is more innately active right now for you based on your life, based on your experiences, based on your coping style, based on who you are as a person right now, based on your masks, based on the people that were around you when you grew up. Depends on which one's more active right now. What it took for you to survive. Everybody has the same shit. They just have a different avenue to get to it and to get through it. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your sleep's wild, you're right on par. If you're trying to figure out how to heal, start with honesty itself. Say the quiet part out loud. Admit the shit that you know is right. And if you're using labels to avoid doing the work behind your healing journey because you think that the rational, logical thought process of, I know I'm this, solves the problem, it does not. But you are rationalizing your healing journey, and healing journey is meant to be felt. And that's why it sucks sometimes. It's meant to be felt your way through and not thought your way through. So if you feel like you're stuck in the rationalizing part of your healing journey, you're a very self-aware person. You know what you feel, you know this, but there's no feeling behind it. You just mentally think everything. Come see us. We can help you because we've been there. We've been the overthinkers. We've been the slightly disconnected from our upper and lower Dantians. Not always in our feels. Not always. We've been there. And if you're trying to learn your abilities and you're disconnected from your upper and lower Dantian, your heart chakra's closed off, you have mass defense wounds, it's going to be twice as hard for you to use your clairs because they don't use your brain, but they use your body, they use your vessel, they use all of your senses and not just your mind. Come see us if you have problems. I hope this helps whoever it needs to today. Random scramble message. Bye, B.